The Gloucester County Public Library partnered with Longwood Gardens, and I was honored that they asked me to do a presentation about creating custom combination pots and hanging baskets. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You are artistically painting with flowers, and you always have to remember it's color, texture, form. Color, texture, form. Landscaping, doing a combo pot, it's always about color, texture, and form. And you have to, first of all, make your selections based on your conditions. Do you have sun? Do you have shade? And we often get people that say, oh, I've got all shade. My house, it shades the plants. And that may be true, but you do get reflected sun from the sidewalk and from the lawn and things like that. You get more foot candles that you would think. But if you're under trees, you've got shade. You've got true shade. So as the sun moves around your house, you get some more sun that you would think. So 6 hours sun, it's probably where I would say you still can use sun plants. So what do? Spikes. Do you have any spikes? Yes, we do. Do you really want them? Dracaena spikes are that grassy, tall-looking thing that you see in almost every combo pot. And it looks okay. But I'm just bored of it. Just if you want that look, why don't you use something like a daylily? It has the same type of foliage, but you get the benefit of the flowers. Something like a Stella d'Oro is a nice dwarf daylily, and it has those melon yellow colored flowers that flower all summer long. And there's always a lot of different daylilies. It's not just one kind. So it's a great choice for the center of that plant. How about a tree rose? We have right now, I'm not trying to sell, but if you want it, we've got them, is a petite rose, tree rose. Excellent choice. Whether it's a tree rose or there's lantana in a tree form. There's also even a type of rosemary tree form that you can use as the center highlight of the plant to give it some height. And here at the studio right now, we if you're looking on YouTube, we suggest subscribe and please give us a review. We'd appreciate that. That we have elephant ears, and this is just a bright green, and it will get tall, it'll get big, and it eventually, by the end of the summer, may be as high as 3 feet. But the other plants will fill in around it, around the base, and it will give a real nice tropical feel. You can use Australian tree fern. They're very cool. The leaves are enormous. They're ferny leaf, but they actually are like, just think of a jumbo fern, and that's what it is. Last year we had some combos that had lupins in the middle. Now, lupins have a great foliage, beautiful flower. But even when the flower is done, the foliage of the perennial still looks good. It just may be a little bit better when it's cooler as opposed when it's hotter. And if it gets to that point, you kind of just cut it back a little bit. Caladiums, another great choice for the center of your container garden. And don't use cell packs. If you're using flowers around your combo pot or your hanging basket, don't use cell packs. Cell packs are made from seed. They're more for putting in the ground and doing like a bedding plant in front of your landscape type of thing. And that they are a seeded plant as opposed to the single pots of hybrids where, like, you know, the proven winners started all this. And then now there are other companies, that are other plant companies like Syngenta and other companies that are doing cutting types of plants, and that they are clones because they are the cutting of the original plant. So you will get performance that they intend from the original. And why is that important? It's important because there's no variation, and you know that it's going to be good. And like, for instance, geraniums. There are seed geraniums, some, but most geraniums, especially zonal geraniums and most of the cutting geraniums, that they are obviously from cutting. The hanging geraniums or the different types of brocade geraniums where the leaves are different colors, all are going to add something to it, to your pot. Now you're going to pay anywhere between $5 and $7 for these plants, but they will be well worth it. Petunias are not going to, they'll be cleaning themselves. Calibrachoa, petcoa. All right, what's a petcoa? Petcoa is a combination of a petunia and a calibrachoa. You get it? Petcoa, petunia, calibrachoa. Fuchsias. Like, yeah, we have a beautiful hanging basket that is here in studio. And again, I encourage you to sign up for our YouTube channel, and that where there's fuchsias that are in this. There is streptocarpella, which is it looks almost like a African violet with a long violet colored flower. There is a spider plant. There is a fern. There's different types of though it looks like a New Guinea impatient, as well as coleus. And this is meant to go into the shade. And it's a great shade plant. Like, you'll be successful. So if you do have one of those environments, like if you have the back porch or something like that, where you have a shaded area that you want to put something in, this is what you need to choose. And you need to make those containers on your own so that they will tolerate those environments. And your local independent garden center is the place to go, because they can help you. They'll hold your hand and they'll lead you through, and they'll even set it up saying, okay, this is how you put it in. You go ahead and click a picture of it, and then you bring it home and you already have your map of how it's supposed to be. Now, your creations don't always have to be symmetrical. Actually, a little imperfection makes them that much more interesting. And like using woody plants, like what about if you used in a combo pot a dwarf blueberry? Yes, dwarf blueberry. You can eat the blueberries, but the plant stays really, really small. So it's going to be something a little different. It also will be there when all of the annuals die. You can do the same thing with perennials, like heuchera. The great thing about heuchera, and then again, that's also coral bells, that the leaves are everything from bright red to like a deep, almost black burgundy to a pumpkin color. They're all different colors. Hostas, threadleaf coreopsis, and again, that's where that color, texture, and form comes in. The thread coreopsis has got that texture that you can't get from other things. And get weird. Make it truly your own unique combination. Put a clematis in the middle of it and let it trail down along the edges of the pot and trail all around the pot and be flowering. Do things that are just different and have fun. And don't let anybody say anything that it's not right, because they don't know. They just bought one with the Dracaena spike in the middle and probably killed it. Now, one thing that do I reuse my potting soil? I got potting soil in my pot from last year. No. Suck it up, buy a new bag of potting soil, dump that other stuff in. You can mix it in the garden. You can fill a hole with it. You can just put it in the landscape bed. But basically, the nutrient value has been sucked out of that. And I really, if you must, and you can't afford to spend a little bit of money on buying a new bag of potting soil because the results are going to be better, you're going to have to feed maybe 2 years, if that. I really don't advise it. And I'm not a fan of Miracle-Gro. Sorry, Scots. Espoma or Coast of Maine blend are all about the technology, the science, and it's organic. And that it's all about making it so that there's nutrient value naturally, not with fertilizers. Now, you will have to use fertilizer. Like in the last segment, we talked about a polymer-coated fertilizer like Classic Coat from Jack's. And again, Osmocote's is very similar. But the science is better because it releases with heat, not just water. So it's going to work better. Now that's something will last 3 months as it breaks down. But you also want to supplement by using Jack's Classic Petunia Feed because it's made specifically for those hybrid annuals that you're planting in those pots. And you got to keep an eye out for insects and disease. And, don't wait to spray and hope it goes away because it's not. And that you don't want your hanging baskets or your pots to get stressed because that just becomes a magnet for both disease and insect. You need to spray it. You can even use the rose and flower care because that will control insect disease, and there's a little bit of fertilizer in there where it will work systemically, so it'll make the plant resistant to both the insect and the disease. I do like that because it's pretty easy and simple. Otherwise, you're going to need to spray it, and there are a number of different types. And if you just gravitate towards the rose sprays and the rose controls, you should be okay. But again, your local garden center, independent local garden center, is the place to go because they partnership with you. They don't want to have you as a one customer, big boxes this time of the year, who knows? I'm not sure how they manage the departments, but I know what our people go through as far as training goes, and that you need somebody who is a professional. So again, have fun with it. Don't let anybody tell you it's wrong. Put plants that you like in it. And again, just remember, keep in the back of your head, it's color, texture, and form. Color, texture, and form. And you will have a stupendous, tremendous combo pots and hanging baskets.